Lord Jesus establishing his kingdom on earth. So 17 is the Lord establishing his kingdom. Chapter 19, the Lord is choosing people for his kingdom. And chapter 18, the way of his kingdom. So wherever there is a kingdom, a place, you need people for that kingdom. And those people need to know how to walk, live in that kingdom. And the way of the kingdom of Christ on earth is going back and becoming a little child, i.e. innocence. Be innocent as a dove. Innocence. Now, since the Lord established his kingdom in Matthew 17, in 18 he showed the way to his kingdom, in 19 he chose people to his kingdom, obviously and chronologically 20 is talking about working in his kingdom. When you bring people to the kingdom, then the next thing is required or asked of them to do is to work for the kingdom. So in this chapter, the Lord gave this parable. He said there was this landowner who went out early in the morning seeking people to work in his vineyard. And he saw some people standing idle, and he asked them, why are you standing idle? In the 21st terminology, unemployed. Oh, you can laugh. Unemployed. Why are you standing idle? They said, well, nobody is really employing us. He said, okay, go and work in my vineyard, and I will give you a denarii as a wage for the day. And by the way, at the time of the Lord Jesus, the denarii was the wage of a day labor. The denarii was a wage for that day labor. So he went out early morning, he saw people standing idle, he sent them to his vineyard, and he made a deal with them that I will pay you a denarii for that day. They agreed, they went. So this landowner went out again at the third hour and saw exactly the same again, people standing idle. He sent them to the vineyard, yet he did not make any deal as far as money is concerned. He didn't mention money, he just said, would you work? They said yes, and they went to work. And then the landowner goes out on the 6th and the 9th hour and does the same thing, sending more people to work in his vineyard. And then he goes out on the 11th hour and does so. At the end of the day, he calls the stewards and he said, pay them their wage, starting from the last to the first. When the last one came, who worked at 11th hour. And by the way, these hours are the prayer hours of our beloved Jews till this very day. These hours are the prayer hours of our beloved Jews till this very day. Early morning, 6 a.m. Third hour, 9 a.m. Sixth hour, 12 noon. 12th hour, 9th hour, 3 p.m. And the 11th hour, 5 p.m. Early morning, 6 a.m. Third hour, 9 a.m. Sixth hour, 12 noon. 9th hour, 3 p.m. 11th hour, 5 p.m. The day begins at 6 a.m., ends at 6 p.m. So those who worked at the 11th hour, i.e. 5 p.m., they only worked for 1 hour and 1 hour only. They got paid a denarii, $1, the good old dollar. They got paid a denarii. Those who worked early morning, 6 a.m., how many hour shift they did? 12. That's a long day. From 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. When they saw those who received the denarii for 1 hour only, they said, we hit the jackpot. We're going home rich today, brother, and we're gonna put the prawns on the barbie. When they came to God to get paid, they received a denarii. Ugh, ouch. They said, hang on, landowner, this is not fair. How come those who worked only 1 hour, they received the same as us, yet us, we worked all day long and we carried the heat of the day, 12-hour shift, and we received the same? He said, didn't I make a deal with you and said, I'll pay you a denarii, and you agreed? I said, yes. He said, okay, well, what's your problem then? I'm fair. Looks like you're not. Is your eye evil because your eye is evil and I am good? Why are you judging? Why are you arguing? Why are you unhappy? I agreed with you for a denarii. Aren't I the rightful owner of my vineyard? And I have the full right to do as I please with the first one, same way with the last one. Why are you complaining? Don't we complain? Some might come and say to the Lord, I've been working for you. By the way, that landowner is the Lord Jesus. That vineyard is the church. The vineyard is the church. Those who are standing idle, unemployed, every single human being standing idle, i.e. living in sin. Sin bankrupted everyone. Sin made everyone unemployed, unable to work and find a good, decent job. As sinners, all of us were outside the circle of God. God came looking for sinners, and He sent them to His church, the Vineyard, and said, I will pay you if you work there. So someone will come after being chosen by the Lord, after being revived by the Lord, after being saved by the Lord, and taken back from the world into the kingdom of heaven, from the world into the church. And after working in the church for so many years for the Lord, and the Lord chooses more people for His house, for His church. One has been working 20, 30 years for the Lord, and someone walks through the front door today, the Lord pays the one who just walked through the door the same wage as the one who has been working 30 years. The one who's working 30 years whinges and complains and says, Lord, this is not fair. All my life I worked for you in your church, and this person just walked in today and he's being rewarded the same way as me. He's got the same position, the same place, the same respect. This is not right. I should be respected more. I should be paid more. I should be rewarded more. I've done it all my life. This guy just came from the streets of King's Cross into your church. Not right, not fair, Lord Jesus. The Lord will say, I'm the rightful owner of the church. I do as I please, and I pay as I please. I reward as I please. What's it to you? Let me ask you, if it wasn't for me, I, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you who are complaining now and saying, I've served you 30 years in your holy church. If it wasn't for me, where would you have been all these 30 years? You would have been in hell. Who made you the Son of God? Who made you that servant of the Lord? Who allowed you to enter the holy presence and the holy church of the Lord? Wasn't it your Lord who purchased you with His own precious blood? Remember, where would you have been without the Lord's mercy? Where would you have been? You would have still be standing idle in the streets of this world, enslaved to Satan, enslaved to the temptations of the world offered to you by Satan. Just like I showed mercy upon you, I wish to show the same mercy upon this man who just walked in today through my front door. Why are you not happy? So has it been all about you all these years, serving in the house of the Lord? But it's nothing about you, it's all about me. I, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.